Aqua gang, gang, gang. What it do, you guys? It's your girl, Empress 777 here today with a general love message for my Aquarius gang. Hope you guys are doing super fantastic. I most certainly am. Holy angels and spirit guides, please give us exactly what we need to know for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. These messages are general, guys, okay? Just can't resonate with every single Aquarius. Just take what resonates with you and leave the rest for whoever it's here for. Use your intuition to guide you towards the messages that they have here for you today, okay? Try to stay fluid, as tarot is very fluid. This could be predictive of the future, something current, or something from your past. What else? What they do? What's going on, y'all? Don't be rude. Say it back in the comments. Say, hey, girl, hey. You know, let me know you here. Check in, roll call, whatever y'all want to say. If you would, just take a moment and click the like button, please, guys. It really helps the channel out, right? Like, we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and this is the best way to donate to the channel and help this platform, you know, soak up our energy, okay? If you would, if this is not your first time here and you're not subscribed, what you waiting for? What you doing? You know, ain't no pressure. I'm just saying, what's up? What's up? Let's make it official. I'm not one to teeter-totter on the line. You know what I'm saying? Let's be exclusive, okay? Click that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload for this sign, which is quite often, okay? So, guys, where do I begin? Let me preface this by saying that this feels very particular. It feels very personal. Even though this is a general reading, it does sound like maybe a majority of you won't resonate. I don't know. Who knows, right? Like, I can't predict it. It just feels so particular to a specific situation in person. So let me just say that, okay? Before we even go over the pre-shuffle, I am being told to say, so either you are beating yourself up, okay, for what you would consider your lack of good judgment, which you normally do have, or you're punishing yourself, okay, for said decisions or lack of judgment, or you are ruminating over what you could have done differently, okay? So that is what this reading is mainly about. We do have a very strong personality, a very strong energy here. This is a person who, they're a trickster, you guys, okay? So I feel like you caught on to the trickery eventually, but not as soon as what you would have wanted for yourself, to feel cool with yourself. And that makes me sad because I feel like you're blaming yourself for the demise of this, or blaming yourself for not catching on to this person's ways, their tricky behavior, right? Sooner. So we are here to take a closer look, is what the divine is saying. This wasn't the first card out, but this is the first card that they're guiding me towards. We need to take a closer look at this situation and kind of pull it apart, right? Like dig into things. I feel as though you definitely feel like you gave this person too much attention, more attention than you would have in the past. For some of you, this is somebody who caught you at a vulnerable time in your life, where if you would have met this person at any other time in your life, not only would they not have stuck around this long, they possibly would not have even gotten a conversation out of you, like more than 2 words out of you, right? Like you possibly would have just walked right past them. Especially, I'm hearing very particularly for those of you who met this person online. I feel like this is somebody who's very bold online. Like they're not how they would be if they would have met you in person. They would have been really intimidated to walk up to you. They would have been really scared. They would not have known what to say. They would have stumbled on their words. But online, they're this charismatic, bold, very type of energy. This is possibly something that attracted you to them initially. I feel like maybe you placed some rubber around your boundaries, so this person was able to play bumper cars with that shit, and they just kept bumping into that shit, and you stuck around longer than you would have normally, if I would say that, okay? I'm trying to choose the words that they're throwing at me wisely, is what they're saying, because I feel like you don't need a beating up on. Like, you don't need me reprimanding you. You don't need me lecturing you, because you're doing that enough yourself. So here's what we have. I just want to say, please have some grace for yourself, right? Like, show yourself some grace, the same amount of grace that you show other people, because there is nothing that you could have done differently. That's what I kept hearing being screamed at me even before I pulled any cards. Like, you did everything correctly. You did everything by the book. You know, you did everything that you could have done based on what you were shown. But this is a very tricky person. Okay, this is somebody whose intentions were not pure, were not, they didn't have the best intentions for you initially. I feel like the longer you stuck around, the more this person decided you were the one to play with. I don't know. That's what I heard, okay? Because we do have stringing along. So I do feel like this person, either, for some of you, take it how it resonates, don't force shit to fit. They either showed up as exactly what you were asking for, meaning you shared with them the things that you wanted and they turned into that person, right? Or they put in just enough effort to get you, or to get you interested, get you wanting more, right? Keep you wanting to have a little bit of a closer look, wanting to have a bit of a closer engagement with them, more time, more energy. They did just enough to put you on some form of a racetrack, is what I feel. Because I feel like you were not chasing this person, but you were running after a certain outcome. You were running after a certain return on whatever you were placing into this. I feel like they placed you not in a race with other people, but in a race with yourself. So anything that you would do for this person, any effort that you placed into this relationship, how you watered it, how you nurtured it, it never quite grew. There was no harvest. There was no it never bloomed, right? For some of you, it never even got off the ground. But for some reason, there's some form of manipulation or something that this person would say, do, that persuaded you to continue to pour into it, even though it wasn't growing, right? Lots of patience is what is in this card, the watering card, having tremendous amount of patience. They're getting, or they were getting, like, immediate satisfaction, right? Immediate gratification, yet you were always left to wait for yours. And I if I'm going to say this, I don't feel it quite came, because this stringing along card suggests that you were always kept waiting. The plan was to keep you waiting, okay? The plan was to get you interested enough to think that the reward would be so great the more that you pour in. But that was never quite going to happen. So it makes me really sad, because I do feel like you will either catch on to this, or you have caught on to this, and you're not necessarily blaming this person, even though you do not fuck with them. You are not fucking with them. You do, like, you are disgusted by them, but you're also beating yourself up very heavily. And what they were saying, more specifically in reference to you punishing yourself, I feel like you are now, like, thinking that, you know, you shouldn't date. Look at these cards. Okay, let's see what they're talking about. That you shouldn't date, or you're not dating, or you're closed off, possibly in hermit mode. 7 of Swords. Yeah, you feel like you saw all the signs, all the red flags, but you still, like, lied to yourself about what was happening. Really angry with yourself. We have Ace of Wands. I am needing you to change that energy, is what they're saying. They're needing you to change that, because they want to maneuver things in your life to make it so that you can have a new beginning, you can have a new start. You can see the beauty in taking action towards a new beginning, new abundance, new passions. But the longer you stay in this energy of kind of dwelling on what happened, not being able to see things sooner, you feel like you crashed out and you saw the car going 1 billion miles per hour with the wall right in front of you, and you still let that bitch crash. That is not the case, though, okay? So let's dig a little bit deeper here. Yeah, there's nothing else that you could have done. This person was there. This was a trick, you guys, okay? See? Look. Somebody shows up as the Knight of Cups. Very sweet, very romantic. Possibly someone who was very different than what you have dealt with before. So that gave you the idea that you were on track. The Knight of Cups is definitely the energy of somebody who wants to, like, woo you, right? Get you in a tailspin, in a tizzy, get you in your head, in your feelings about them, even though they didn't really do much. It's possibly even breadcrumbs for some of you, or they showed up with, like, one huge gesture, but there's no consistency. It did not continue. It stopped abruptly. You could have possibly stuck around trying to wonder when it was going to show back up, or when, you know, why it changed, or, what the end game was, what they need you to do, like in order for things to continue to persist in the way that it started. Wow. Yeah, they showed up like Prince Charming, Princess Charmita, right? You wish you would have dug a little bit more into getting to know this person rather than falling for their charismatic ways. Let's see here. So that fell. They did tell me to pick that up, though. We have, see, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So this possibly moved a little bit faster than what you're used to. You saw a future with this person, okay? So I don't feel like you got to that conclusion on your own is what I'm saying. They're a trickster, okay? They're a magician. They are a magician, you guys, right? Like they show up this way. Of course, it makes sense. If somebody is showing up as the Knight of Cups, it was a no-brainer to you. When things organically started to grow emotionally, I don't feel like there was any progression physically. There was no progress. You were still waiting on that. But you did start to put effort in on the earlier side. Okay, you didn't wait for this person to show their entire hand or to show you what they were really made of before you started investing because you saw a future with them. Okay, to whatever extent this effort was, it doesn't matter. It is bothering you. Any amount of effort that you poured into this, anything that you poured into this, because now you're realizing that it was like fake. It wasn't real. Like it was an illusion, an optical illusion. Oh, boy. I also feel like this person definitely, like when they first saw you, whether it was online or in person, they did not believe that they had a chance with you. Okay, they didn't. And for some of you, you may have curved them for a long time. Like, you know, didn't give them the time of day right away. And that's why they came in so strong, because it's like, you rejected me, right? They don't take rejection well. This person views rejection as a battle, like the challenge of a lifetime. And now I'm going to get you type of thing, you know? So they come in with this sweet behavior, but it really is with the intent to like prove themselves right, like prove a point to themselves. Like I can get you, even though they know that you're out of their league. It's as if they had to prove a point to themselves. Like I can get you. See, fun time, not a long time. And that makes so much sense with the Knight of Cups here, right? Knights are like the teenagers of the zodiac. There's no substance there, but it feels good. Feels good. It's a good time. It's the good morning text. It's the I'm thinking about you during the day. It's the here's a small token of my affections for you, or I was just thinking about you, or you told me you like this thing and I got it for you, or should we go and do this thing that's outside of the box, go to this concert, go to this, you know, like a whimsical, very encompassing energy that kind of puts you in the mindset that you met your like soulmate, right? Like that you met the person that you're supposed to do life with the 10 of Pentacles being here. Now this person definitely saw dollar signs when they saw you, whatever currency they're speaking of. You were definitely a sure bet for this person. A good look is what I'm hearing, like a come up. Okay, a great look for them. So I am feeling the energy of this person possibly not panicking, but they may be plotting here because even though they only plan to come and string you along for a short amount of time to prove themselves, to prove a point to themselves, that they could pull a baddie, that they could pull somebody that is higher than them. Let's just be honest, right? Like the two of you are not equally yoked. Okay, you're out of their league. The fact that things are possibly the two of you are possibly moving away from each other energetically, or you are changing, or there is a complete disconnect, now has this person thinking that they possibly let go of like their come up in whatever way that might be. Okay, you have many of resources. It doesn't just have to mean financially, but I do feel like this person definitely has thought about it, like what their life would be like if they were able to partner with you, even though they're not a partner. This person does not know how to conduct themselves in a partnership. All right, they are pretty much a child, right? Like a dependent, guys. Okay, somebody you would need to file on your fucking taxes because they're not able to show up and do their part. They don't even know what their part is. Okay, they're just about the fun and games, right? Like the imaginary feelings. Okay, that's what this person is about. Yikes, I messed up. Exactly. That goes right over this 7 of Swords. So they definitely are thinking about you figuring them out, especially if you haven't spoken to them, if you've just changed your behavior and haven't had a conversation with them, come to your own conclusions and started to move accordingly for yourself. They are very aware, okay? Either they're getting downloads in the 5D that you have figured this out, or they just know, right? It's something about them, a gut feeling that just knows that you figured it out. You figured them out, that no matter how much you poured into this, it would never quite fill up. And your cup would always end up empty. Especially if you had a couple of cycles with this person, you may have attempted to like walk away at one point in time. It's a charmer though. This person is very charming. They know what to say to get people to give them another shot, right? With that Ace of Wands there, another shot and another shot. But you would always leave empty. See, where's the consistency? There is none. There is no consistency. This definitely strikes me as the type of person who, especially like I said, if you have had several cycles with them, they do come in talking a good game, possibly doing a few things, right? Pouring a little bit, a little drip drop, a little drip drop. They're not filling your cup now. Let's be very honest. They're not filling anybody's cup, not even their own. They get their cup filled from other people. Okay. But there's no consistency. It would soon be you pouring into this all over again, getting on that racetrack and running towards this outcome that you thought would come, right? Damn it. Yeah, I just saw 1111. This could be a twin flame for some of you. You guys would be a very dark energy, meaning they are not awakened, right? Like they're still operating out of their shadow side. Now, if that is the case, you would already know this. This would not be news to you. You would already know that this is your twin. Sheesh. Now, this bold card does suggest that this person is going to start possibly really amping up the communication. Whether you block them or not, they're going to try to force themselves and back into your life, you know, back at least to have a conversation, right? Sounds great. Sounds good. Sounds great. Okay. For a great majority of you been here before, meaning they come in with their tail tucked, talking about how they messed up, how they can do better, how they want to do better, right? What love is really supposed to be, as if they really know what love is, right? Love is not just walking away. You're supposed to thug it out with me. You're supposed to hold me down. Even though I'm holding you back. We have threes of crowd. That's in the reverse. Okay. So for those of you who were thinking that you were dealing with some form of third party, that is not the case, okay? This is not somebody who was laying it low and spreading it wide. No, you were their big fish. They definitely were focusing completely on you. And they were definitely the type, they were a taker, right? So this is somebody who always had their hand out for something, whether it be attention, money, love, sex, emotions, validation, the list goes on and on and on. Knight of Cups can sometimes signify a player, but this is not a player. This is just a trickster, as I stated, okay? They use their charms, their charming ways. They may be very attractive. They use very shallow resources of theirs to get people to see the value in pouring into something that hasn't given them anything back. Okay? Yeah, see, shattered. It says, I'm feeling broken. Can't stop these racing thoughts. Told you. And the thoughts are definitely entailing the fact that you have figured them out. So for some of you, I'm even hearing now that they don't quite know if you figured it out yet, but they have an inkling because you've changed. You're not acting the same. You may be asking more detailed questions. You may be questioning them more. You may be holding them more accountable. You may be pulling back in certain ways or holding off, not allowing them in, not giving them, not pouring into them. So those changes are what's really, you know, at the forefront of their thoughts. We have foolish. I lack the maturity to handle a person like you. Duh. But that didn't keep them from coming towards you, right? Because even though people know that they don't deserve you, or they're not on your level, or they can't provide you with what you need, that still don't mean that they don't want you, right? Like, everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody wants gold. Everybody want to hit the lottery. Everybody wants, right? Like, yeah, of course. Even though they know that they can't afford it, they're still going to try. And if you give them yourself on sale, right? If you put yourself on a discount, or if you put yourself on clearance, that's even better. I'm not saying that's what you did. I'm not. I just heard them say that. That's just an example. Okay? Yeah, they cannot afford you. They cannot handle you. They cannot take care of you. They cannot show up for you. They cannot support you. None of the above. This is something that they knew at the beginning. Yet they just had to try. They had to. They had to. They had to. For their own selfish reasons, right? Yeah, because tricking you puts them in a great position. That's their only thought process, not how it's going to affect you or anyone else. It's getting themselves higher than where they were before. This is an opportunist, guys, for sure, for sure. Now, for some of you, you may have decided in your own mind that this person is just a fun time, not a long time, and that's why you've moved on. And that is where we get this energy, because I feel like like I said, this person gives me the energy of somebody who came towards you just to see if they can, right? If they can get you, if they can. They tried it. They tried it. For those of you who rejected them in the beginning, then it became a game of getting you back. Okay? For rejecting them, for bruising their ego, for making them feel bad, invalidating them, right? Or validating the things that they feel subconsciously about themselves, which is that they're not worthy. But they only plan to do that for a little while until they really saw the full scope of what you provide, who you are, what their life can be like. Then they got into opportunist mode. So if you yourself decided to disconnect this and say, you know what, we could just have a situationship, we could just be friends with benefits, we could just chill, you could just disappear, like, I'm good, I had my fun, it was fun while it lasted. They no longer want it to end. Now they want the big fish, right? Like, now they want it to go all the way. Ten of Pentacles is like marriage, right? Like, it's the contract that's in black and white. These are all 10 of your pentacles. It's not the two of you coming together to make the 10 of Pentacles. No, this is all yours. And they want that. They still want it, you guys. Let's not sugarcoat shit. They most certainly still want it. They most certainly are still after it. They most certainly will be very persistent. I don't see them stopping anytime soon. It's neither here nor there, right? Because I feel like it's free will, right? Like, you're a smart person. But the bulk of this reading was to get you to understand this person's motives from the very jump, from the very beginning, okay? And recognize that there is nothing that you could have done. Unfortunately, you were in a vulnerable place for a great majority of you, and it does seem that this person took advantage of that, right? Like, you slipped up, but I feel like you're beating yourself up for that. And we gotta stop, because you deserve this, right? You deserve your other half. You deserve someone who's on this level. You deserve this, right? Like, don't try to talk yourself out of it as if you don't want it anymore because you've gotten hurt or because you've been betrayed. That would be a lie. And you may miss out on something very great. We will have new love in the extended. I am feeling like that's the blockage at this point. It's a suffrage that you're putting yourself through for not recognizing this, or not noticing this person, not really seeing them for who they are immediately. How could you? Okay, they were disguised, you guys. It's a disguise. You acted accordingly to what they were showing you. They're not off the hook, is what I'm hearing. So I feel like this person definitely is heading towards destructive energy, for sure. They're not going to get away with it. Let's head on over to the extended, okay? I want to really dig in. I want to know what this person's hopes and fears of the future of this connection is, okay? Just to kind of get inside of their head, see what their end game is like. I want to know what their plan is, okay? So you could protect yourself. What are their intentions moving forward? Have there been any significant changes in their behavior, okay? That will let us know if there has been any signs of transformation or awakenings, okay? we just need to know that. I also want to know what karma this person is going to be due in the near future. We already see that they're heading down that path quite abruptly. Okay, the momentum is at 1 billion. I want details though, because I'm nosy. Let's see what they're gonna have to, what that suffrage is going to be looking like. I also want to know what the lesson was here for you. Okay, that's the silver lining. Why did this have to happen? And it'll also give us an idea if you have already learned that lesson as you're going towards this newer cycle for a great majority of you. What are their next steps gonna be so that you can fully prepare yourself for that and the best potential outcome, whether you decide to re-engage with this or go in the opposite direction towards new love. There's no judgment, you guys, okay? And everybody's situation is different. Who knows? They could have changed. They could have awakened. I don't know. We're going to look, right? So I would look at both potential outcomes. And then I want to know what subconscious blockages might be keeping you visible to toxicity as you move forward. Removing these blockages is going to give you the ability to only deal with people who are on your vibrational level, and it will place you as invisible to all low vibrational people and toxicity as you're moving forward, okay? And then we're going to get right into new love because period. Let's see who's coming in. Only the good, only the new. Okay, what's the vibe like between you and this person? What do they find most attractive about you? And what will you find most attractive about them? That's going to let you know who I'm talking about, because you may have multiple people coming in. You are a great catch. All right, so me tapping into the attraction between you and this person will give you an idea of who to place your energy into, who to focus on, who to pour into, so we're not making the same mistakes. Okay, I also want to know if there are any warnings that you need to know about prior to committing to this person, and what the potential is for this new connection to go all the way into union in the near future, okay? And then we will get your advice. I want to know what the divine suggests you lean into, recalibrate, or focus on energetically in order to bring the life and desires of your heart to pass, to materialize those desires in the least amount of time, okay? And then we will have an Ask the Universe read, where we will use this deck to ask questions to the divine. I'll give you the floor to ask a couple of questions, but I will have more instructions for that over in the extended, okay? All right, guys, so without further ado, we have a lot to tap into. I'm going to place the link for the extended down below in the description box. You first click that like button and the subscribe button, and I'm going to see y'all over there. All right.